Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with another Star Wars Destiny video. And today I bring you my long overdue video on how to play Star Wars Destiny on Tabletop Simulator. I made two videos previous to this, but they're now a little bit outdated. So if you want to know how to get this set up, here's where to go. And I just want to say before we start, remember, Tabletop Simulator is not meant to be a replacement for Star Wars Destiny, but it does function really well as a place to go test decks if you're looking to try out some cards before you buy them. And just so you know, there are tons and tons of people playing Star Wars Destiny right now. All right, so let's go ahead and open up Steam. This is what you're going to have to do. If you haven't downloaded Steam yet, go download Steam. That's step one. We're not going to talk about how to download Steam. So then you're going to go into the top here, go up to the store. I've got my store here. I'm going to type in here Tabletop Simulator. Like I barely have to type anything. And boom, it knows what I want. So then you're going to scroll down to Tabletop Simulator, and you're going to purchase it. Add to cart. Don't buy the 4-pack unless you want 4 copies to give out to friends. You only need one. So go ahead and download the one, add to the cart, install it. When it's done installing, you're ready for the next step. The next step is the hard step. So it's actually not hard, but it seems hard. So you go up to the top, you go to where it says community, at the very top, store, library, community, Tiny Grimes. You're clicking on community. You're scrolling down to where it says workshop. You're clicking on that. And I was going to bring up the Steam Workshop. Within the Steam Workshop, in this little search bar, you type in Tabletop Simulator. Boom. Now we're in the workshop for Tabletop Simulator. Maybe you want to use all these other cool games, but right now we don't. We just want one, Star Wars Destiny. We're going to put it in the search box. Ba-boom. Here it is, Star Wars Destiny. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And here we go. Ooh, this looks like it to me. I already have it subscribed, but what you're going to want to do is click the subscribe button. The awesome thing about this is all you will ever have to do again with this aspect of the game. The mod will always be there. It will always be updated. When there's new cards put in, Ice Cobra will put the cards in and poof, like magic, they will come through for you. Okay, so now you've got it all set up. Go ahead and fire it up. You can do that just by going to library, go to Tabletop Simulator, and hit play. Mine is already running. That's right. I'm ready to roll. Okay, so that's step one. You have your Tabletop Simulator installed. You fire it up, and this is the screen you get. Okay, great. Okay, so this is how it works. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a game. We're going to host a game. If you want to host a game, you're going to click on multiplayer. You're going to click on host server, and then you're going to give your server a name. I usually say playing good decks just to let people know I'm not messing around. Put a password in. I'll go ahead and make mine high. You can set as many players as you want if you want observers. Create the server, and boom, we're ready to go. Another kind of confusing screen. But so this is basically telling you all the games you could do if you want. You could set up for. You're going to look at Workshop, Star Wars Destiny. Simply click on it, and you're ready to go. And now what we have is a menu within the mod to help you set up a board that you want to see. So you're probably going to want to click on 2-player game if you're setting up a game. And now there's a myriad of choices here. What do these mean? This is basically asking you how many characters do you want to be playing with. So I'm going to say I'm going to be the red side, and I'll do 2 characters. My opponent, the blue side, has a 3-character deck, and there's token choices. I'm actually going to use the Broken Egg tokens, and my opponent wants to use the Team Covenant Saga set. When we have our choice set up, we're going to click spawn, and boom, you got yourself a game. All right, now we have our board all set up for us. The next step is to go ahead and choose our name, our color. So I'm going to click on my name, just a regular click. It brings up this menu. You choose color, and I'm going to be on the red side of the board. Then to load a deck is also easy. You click on objects, go to saved objects, and this will access your saved objects folder and show you all the decks you have chosen. Now, you're probably not going to have a deck, and we'll get to this in a minute of how to actually put a deck in there. Since I chose a 2-character deck, I'll do my Vader Jabba. It's going to drop you a bag. Anytime you click and hold, then you can drag the whole item. If you just click and quickly pull, it'll pull something out of it, or pull one card off the top. Oops, pull the force joke. Okay, so the deck came out first. I put it in the deck slot. And now it's going to have a pile of stuff. It's going to have my battlefield. It's going to have my characters. I'm going to put these over here. And the way it's going to work is it's going to spawn with either 1 die or 2 dice, sort of depending on where you build it. And there is a problem. Jabba the Hutt's die doesn't work right. It's going to work for me because I saved it differently already, and we'll go into that also in a moment. Okay, so now we're all set up. There's a number of cool shortcuts you can do. If you click or just hold your mouse on your deck, you can hit R to shuffle it. You can either right-click draw, which is lengthy time, or you can just hit the number of cards you want to draw when you're moused on your deck. 5. Bam! It's really important to note that your opponent cannot see your cards right now. However, if you've dragged them out to mulligan or something, they will be able to see them. So before you mulligan, you want to hit F on any card you want to send back, and then just send them back that way, mulligan again, and draw your cards. If you need to copy or paste anything, make a duplicate of something, you can take this die, Control C, Control V, boom, now I have Elite Vader. Oh, look at that. So easy. Okay. Some other things to note. If you want to build a deck, you have several choices here. Actually, before we move on to that, you can hit Q or E to flip people. This is how we note activating them. And something really important on the top here, where we have this guy lifting weights. Next to it, you have rotation degrees. You're going to want to set this to 90. If you leave it at 15, when you do your Q, look at this. You have this really slow move. So you want to move it up to 90, so it's going to flip 90 degrees. Makes it really easy. Another thing, when you take damage, the way you do that is you just click on these spots. You click on the damage spot, there's 1. If you want to make it into a 3, you click it again. If you want to get rid of it, you click it yet one more time. Sometimes if you're having lag, it'll kind of glitch a little bit. Just have to work at it. It'll work. The same thing up here for the shields. We put our shields up, click on them when we want to take them away. Bing, bang, boom. Okay. So this is how the basics of it work. If you want to build a deck, let's talk about that. There's a couple ways to do this. The first one is, whoops, I didn't mean to go all the way back there. This time, I'm going to show you something else. We are going to browse the server. So instead of building a deck, what if we want to just find a game, right? There's lots of people playing Destiny. I usually just go here, click game, sorts it, scroll down, looking for Star Wars Destiny. Look at this. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million games. And you can join any room that is not locked or does not have a max capacity of players yet. It looks like there is there is not a single room that is not locked or at max capacity. So we won't be able to join someone else's game and just annoy them. That's good. All right. Another thing you can do is go into single player if you want to do something like build a deck. So again, workshop, Star Wars Destiny. And remember our little menu here where we selected 2-player game. You could also select deck building if you want. And there's all kinds of things you can do here. You can select heroes and then spawn that. And there you go. Now you have a hero deck. I don't actually like to use this method. When I'm building a deck, I would prefer to do it slightly differently. Let's go ahead and set it back up again. I would just, in fact, I just right-click this, delete, boop. If you right-click and then hit delete on anything, it removes it. So here's the sort of more advanced stuff. There are these bags around here. So there's a deck bags, there's dice, and there's cards. If you ever lose a die, which will happen, you right-click on the dice bag, search, and boom, there's all the dice. Just drag out the one you need. This is especially important if you're trying to do something like use spoilers. The spoilers, those cards are a little harder to get set up, but the dice are all in there. You can pull them out, make them any way you want. Cards are in here. So let's say we wanted to build a deck with Palpatine. So we're going to drag out the spoilers pile. We'll drag out the villain pile, the neutral pile. I like to flip them over so they come out in the way I can see them. You right-click search on any pile and just pull out any card you want. So I'm going to make a Palpatine deck with Force Lightning, Rise Again. Remember, we had this problem. There's only one of them. I want 2 Force Lightning. So I'm going to Control C, Control V. Control C, Control V. Boom. We're on our way. There's also battlefields, of course. Let's grab those. Whoop. So we're going to use the top one, whatever it is. We'll use that one. Graveyard. Sure. That seems like a great choice. And when we are satisfied with our deck, what we'll do is take one of these deck bags, drag it off. Let me build my deck. My deck is a 4-card deck. I think it's going to be solid. Drop it in the bag. Drop your battlefield in the bag. Drop your characters in the bag. You can drop dice for the characters in the bag, but you don't need to do that because they're going to spawn when they hit the table anyway. You right-click on the bag, save object, save it to whatever you want. Palpatine is awesome. Hit save, and you will now have an object in your folder. But, boy, that takes a long time to do. So there's a shortcut, actually. What you can do instead is go to swdestiny.db. Want to make a deck? Probably the fastest way to do this is to go to swdestinydb.com. If you don't have a login yet, make one. It's a great place to store all your decks. You can see some of my secret decks that I'm working on. There's a lot of bad stuff in here. But what you can do is you make a deck. I made this Han Hired Gun Trooper deck that turned out to be terrible. And whatever deck you want to use, you can go over to download. Just click download, Tabletop Simulator, and then it will be downloaded for you. The next step is you actually have to put it into Tabletop Simulator. And so what you do is you end up dragging that file into your saved objects folder, which for me, I think it's the same for everyone, but for me, it's under Documents, My Games, Tabletop Simulator, Saves, Saved Objects. You open up that folder, it'll probably be blank for you. You drag in this new deck that you've made, and when you go ahead and open up objects in Tabletop Simulator, it'll show up. You go back to Objects, Saved Objects, and like you saw, we have these millions and millions of decks. I'll choose Han Ray this time. Boom! My bag came out, and we're ready to roll. So that's how you download, get set up, and play Tabletop Simulator for Destiny. Go ahead and send me a message if you're having some troubles, or if you ever just want to play me, go ahead and hit me up. I'm always looking for games. So hopefully you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time on Tiny Grams Games.